Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that setup and how-to for the game Rise to Nobility. Lot going on in that one, I know. So if you've made it this far or if you're coming here just for the review portion, let's go ahead and jump right in. Rise to Nobility is not a light game at all. There is a lot of moving components, little things happening. So make sure, guys, whether it's your first playthrough or your 10th one, keep the rulebook handy, keep those reference cards handy, because you'll probably find yourself needing to make sure that you address these little things. And great job, there is an FAQ on the back of the book for those potentially overlooked things. So the components. So this is the deluxe version. So this one might be different than what you got. So I can only address the components of the deluxe, which are really good. I was very happy to kickstart the deluxe version of this game because, you know, all too often I'd find myself just wanting those more premium components in most games. So for the most part, they did a good job. But when it comes to the resource tokens, I don't know. There's just too little area to house all your potential resources, especially the furniture. The furnitures do not stack very well. Otherwise, the components are all really well done. Cards have a great linen finish. The board is beautiful in its art. The dice are nice weighted. But the deluxe version dice, they're, I don't know, too fancy, too bougie. I don't know. There's just something a little bit off about them. The readability of the numbers is a little bit tricky. Not that it's impossible or difficult, but at a glance, it's like, oh, that's a weird font that they went with. The coins are heavy and sturdy and metal, and that's probably my favorite part about the deluxe version is those coins. But the modifier tokens and a couple of the other things were just standard punch board. Not sure why they went that route with that. They could have done maybe something a little bit differently, but who's to say? Otherwise, components, deluxe version, really, really good. What do I like about this one? There's a lot to like about Rise to Nobility. It's a deep game. There's a lot going on. So, you know, if you like worker placement like me, you know, I definitely enjoyed this one. I did not enjoy, I liked it a little bit at 2-player, but this is not one that I would break out for a 2-player game. Namely because the initial setup, it's pretty inundating. There's a lot to it to get everything going on the board. So by the time you're finished setting it up, you could have probably played an equally deep 2-player game and had just as much fun. On the higher play counts, it is really good though, you know. You're taking your turns, you're able to kind of block people off, you're able to, you know, make sure that you can lock certain guilds up, which is really cool. So there's some good strategy involved there. I guess, oh man, I guess though, where it really draws back for me though is that the end game scoring is almost pointless because pretty much a player that you see in the lead mid-game is the player winning the game. There's no surprise. No amount of resource stockpile or nobility track victory points are going to usually catch you up. Because guess what? If that player managed to, you know, build or hire settlers and get those completed, they're going to advance equally as much on that nobility victory point as well. So my biggest gripe, I guess, about the game is that there's no mystery as to who's going to end up winning. So once you're heading into that 6th round, if it's a close game, sure, but if there's any real disparity in the scoring, it's game over. So by the time you're heading into that later round or those final couple of rounds, if someone's already ran off with it, there's just no catching up. Unlike other types of games where, again, you know, there's some secret things going on that could really make a difference. Not so much here. But that's okay. It didn't really take away from the fun factor of the game, just a little discouraging when you already blatantly know who's going to likely win the game. Why should you add this to your collection? If you enjoy worker placement games like me, this is a really good game to add to your collection. It is heavier than a lot of the games that I do own, but not in a bad way. Sometimes I really do like to bring out those games. It's not overly complex for new players. I found, but I did notice that it took maybe one playthrough just to kind of get someone new up to speed. Otherwise, after that, it is pretty smooth sailing. So even though it's a deep game and complex, it's not so much so that it's not user friendly for a new player at the table. Why is this a game you may not want to add to your collection? Setup time is, again, it's abysmal. I mean, I think it takes a good 20 minutes just to set the thing up. And two, for that other reason I had mentioned, there's no secret to who's probably winning the game. And that can be discouraging to the fun factor. Because look, if I'm playing a game and I already just see that I'm just blown out of the water and there's no chance of catching up, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, do I really want to sit and play through this this ass kicking? So if you like victory point games where, again, you've got some end game factors that can really close the gap in some areas, then this isn't going to be for you. So I guess that's going to do it for me on this one, guys. As I mentioned, if you want me to do a more advanced one playthrough and two address the 6-player setup and what that chancery board is all about, as well as the event cards, please leave a comment down below. I'll try to tackle that as well. If you have any questions or comments about the game, happy to help out as best that I can. Again, leave a comment below. If you've enjoyed the content, I do really appreciate the support of everyone, guys. So feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, until next time, thanks so much for watching.